All right, here we go.
Like batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Ready to move up. The purpose of our two previous encounters is now very clear. I do not intend to be distracted by another. Good night, Mr. Bond.
You expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Enjoy them as much as any bloke. But in the spirit of commemoration,
Who's that, Mum?
whereby those
No,
important
Mr.
events of
Bond,
the
I
past,
expect you to die.
usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful bloody struggle, are celebrated with a nice holiday. I thought we could mark this November the 5th, a day that is sadly no longer remembered, by taking some time out of our daily lives to sit down and have a little chat. There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak.
Let me think, just let me think.
I suspect even now, orders are being shouted into telephones, and men with guns will soon be on their way.
It's Chancellor
Damn it!
Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there?
You designed it, sir. You wanted it foolproof. You told me every television in London.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror.
There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you. Luke, you do not yet realize your importance. You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy.
I'll never join you!
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
We move south to find Navia.
Let Crixus and the other Gauls chase Lost Hope. Spartacus!
The decision's been made. We must stand as one. Or fall divided. It's a hard learned. Shackle will be struck from every slave upon our path. We will see our numbers grow. And when they have become legion, we will face Glaber and the hordes of Rome again. And the gods shall weep for their suffering. Beep, beep.
then I'll see right. Defy me once and I'll be out of sight. Stay and think I'll be nice. I'd rather fight and be the one despise.
All right, kids, welcome to another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show. Today is Two Wiener Tuesday. Oh my God, I forgot about that. I'm so excited. I'll be sitting home anyway, doing nothing because of social distancing. It's really gonna suck. But I have all of you here to enjoy my morning. Anyway, today is Tuesday, March 17th. Isn't that St. Patrick's Day? Isn't it St. Patrick's Day today? What happened to that?
Yes, it definitely is St. Patty's Day.
Yeah,
today.
so happy St. Patrick's Day. What the fuck, really? Are we all forgetting? Are we just gonna forget our world and let this coronavirus and the economy, losing our jobs and social distancing stop us from celebrating? I think not, right?
I don't celebrate it anyway.
Hey, that's because you're xenophobic.
No, it's because
Yes, you are.
It's because I don't drink.
Oh, that's what it's also you're saying has nothing to do with the Irish heritage. It has to do with getting drunk. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Okay.
At
Well,
least
anyway.
for Americans.
Hey, I'm part Irish.
I'm not going to. So am I.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Did I grab a Corona?
That, you know, it's funny. That's like one of the few beers I actually like.
That's my favorite.
I do actually like Coronas. It still takes me a while to get through one, but I do like Corona.
It's my favorite. All right, so it's Two Wiener Tuesday. Oh, yes, it is. March 17th, 2020. This show is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please use it at your own risk. This show is copyrighted by me, Freedom Revolution Network, and whatever. No part of it can be reused, rebroadcasted in any way, shape, or form without written consent, or you can just ask because I could really care less. Finally, this show is opinionated. The host is especially me, Melissa, the co-host, the gatekeeper, Pamela, yes, people that are naughty in the chat room, and people that we interview and have guests on whatever phone calls are and always will be opinionated. Under no circumstances whatsoever should opinions be taken as advice. If you're seeking professional advice, we strongly encourage you to hire a license if required person in his or her field, little Tommy. Hey, man. No. That's his name. Excuse me. Broadcasting live from the lovely little wonderful not locked down town of Loveland, Colorado yet, where I'm practicing social distancing. And happy Valentine's Day. happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Where's Kevin? Is that his name? Where's Kevin at?
He has not popped into the Facebook yet. I'm not sure why he can't get into YouTube now.
Because they banned him.
It's kind of frustrating.
No, but I will be here practicing social distancing. So this will be the last show because I can't be around anybody because that's exactly what they tell us to do, right? Is that how it works?
I think we might be okay doing our show.
You never know.
Cough on me this morning.
Yeah, I know. I have a mild cough. I don't know. Whatever.
I smoke. I always have a cough.
I'm not gonna borrow trouble, but I gotta take my temperature though. I haven't done that in a while. But I heard you can have mild symptoms and not have a fever, so I don't even know.
Oh yeah. It's you can have some symptoms, you can have no symptoms, and you can still have it.
Right. All right. Would you mind? Hey, Wolf Lover, what's up? Mean Gene, Wandering, Pamela, blah blah blah. What whoever's in here? Good morning. If I forgot somebody.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, we may all have this thing. I don't really know. So, would you mind throwing up the phone number? I wouldn't mind people calling in, saying something. I think that's going to happen more and more anyway. I really don't know what. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't want to keep talking about gloom and doom and negativity, but that is allegedly what Mother Nature's shoving at us and what we're dealing with right now. And I don't really think that not talking about it would be apathetic because unfortunately, forget about the coronavirus because it's going to pass. But I think the collateral damage is going to be just unheard of and unforeseen and unpredictable. I really do. And
most definitely.
Maybe we can focus on that just a tad and kind of move on a little bit. I mean, if you want to share your numbers, and I think we still should do that because here's the thing. I was watching TV last night and YouTube, and everybody's blaming the coronavirus for the economy going in the tank. And Peter Schiff made a really good point. The economy has been doing crappy to begin with, and the coronavirus was just the pin that pricked the bubble and let everything else.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I don't think people are looking at that. Is the coronavirus the symptom or the problem? And it's not the problem. It was a symptom that helped advance the problem, and the problem is the crappy economy.
Yeah, because there's a sector of the society that does not think that our economy is in the toilet or wasn't in the toilet, because jobs. Well, those jobs numbers were very misleading because it doesn't include underemployed. It doesn't include all those people that are working 2 or 3 jobs in order to pay the bills. Mm-hmm. That's not a good economy. If our entire, well, not our entire, but if a good portion of our nation is underemployed, then what good does that do our economy?
Yeah, well, and that's a good point, Mean Gene. If our economy was strong, something like this should not have tanked it. Yeah, that shows
exactly.
That's how delicate it is. And here's a real scary part, and I don't want to scare people. I beg you to do your homework on how the economy works, and ever since the meltdown, actually, ever since the gold standard was severed way back in 1971 by Nixon, but it's been progressively been going down. And yeah, that's a good point. It was kind of like a house of cards or Jenga, and it just got one piece pulled out of it that was holding the whole thing up, and it came down. And not even the Federal Reserve, by lowering interest rates to zero, is gonna save this thing. So I hope people really understand the severity of where we're at right now.
Right? Yeah. And the thing is it's not just the U.S. either. It's literally the whole world economy is going in the tank right now.
Yeah, in every sector and industry, this thing is hitting. Nobody's immune to this except the people. And I don't want to sound like an asshole that I don't like rich people or whatever, but let's face it, the people that have capitalized and had their wealth transferred from us peasants to them from the meltdown are going to be doing fine. They're all holding up in their bunkers and everything. Can you see this map?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no. This
you know,
isn't
you can put that up in the screen share too.
It just popped up on my phone. I wasn't looking for it.
Oh.
It caught my eye because it was laying on the desk here, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't a pandemic. Don't worry about it.
It looks like that stupid game, that Plague Incorporated. It's watching this map develop has literally been watching that stupid game. My son showed me that game.
Yeah. Okay. Gold and silver is cheap right now. That's a good point, Wolf Lover. Actually, silver compared to the ratio to gold has never been cheaper. That was from, I think CNBC last night said that.
Hasn't silver always been a little bit more stable than gold?
I don't know if it's been more stable. But
I will say right now, I do not understand all that stuff. I don't understand how it all works. I know the basics, but that's why I asked my question, is because I really don't know.
It's that there's more silver than gold, and silver's used in industrial manufacturing and stuff, and it's way cheaper than gold. And there's a gold silver ratio, and I don't recall what exact. You got to do your homework on this stuff, but I don't know what the normal ratio is. But right now, it's just way out of whack. So you can buy silver at a great price right now, and I'm considering it because I don't like what's going on right now.
I've just been hearing for years from folks, in coin collecting and stuff like that. Yes, I get into all that nerdy stuff. That it's better to keep silver than gold.
The only negative I'll say on that from experience is that there's more of it and there's a lot more to move than compared to gold.
I wonder if that's part of the reasoning.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, because an ounce of gold is give or take $1,500 right now. An ounce of gold or silver is like 16, 17, 15. I don't even know where it is right now. So that's a lot more you're going to have to haul around if you need to move.
Yeah. Okay, so you ready for numbers?
Not really, but go ahead. Well,
no,
okay.
I want to hear it. I want a beer.
Okay, so I told you last night, which I don't know how much more they went up last night before the counter reset for the new day.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually pulling that up. There you are. Let's see. Okay, so at 5:30 last night, we were up by 977 new cases. And like I said, I don't know what that number changed to between 5:30 and midnight or whenever the little thingy resets. But we were up almost 1,000 new cases yesterday in the U.S.
So we're definitely going exponential.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Which we
right,
said that, but go ahead. Sorry.
right now we're at 4,743 cases. 80 of those are new. So from the time that counter reset, which I'm assuming is probably midnight Eastern, and that is me assuming, so I'm probably making an ass out of you and me, but it is what it is. I don't know when they reset the counter. So we have 80 new cases already today. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of reporting that our total recovered was finally outnumbering our total deaths. Yeah, that went in the toilet. We now have 93 deaths and only 74 recovered. To put that into some perspective, we are roughly 10 to 14 days behind Italy, correct? That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah, a couple weeks. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Italy at this particular moment is at 27,980
Infected?
Cases, yes.
Yeah, okay.
2,158 deaths.
That's 10%. Is that 10%?
Just under, yeah.
Okay.
And then they've had 2,749 that have recovered. So that one is like a true 10% right there.
So you have allegedly a 10% mortality rate and a 10% recovery rate. Is that right?
At this point, yeah.
With these numbers in this moment in time. I'm not a numbers guy, but that's what we only can go by what we're talking about right now. Right?
Well, okay, like Italy currently has 23,000 active cases. Hang on. Okay, I know how to do math. I know how to do math at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Take your socks off and use your toes and count. I'm ready.
Okay, so
Sesame Street Hope?
the total number of cases that have an outcome is 4,907. Okay, 4,907. So their mortality rate is 4,907. Whoa. I knew it was going to be close to 50 because of the numbers, but
far out.
44% mortality rate right now in Italy.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I guarantee you part of the reasoning for that is because of how overwhelmed their medical system is. And that's not even including the ancillary deaths that happen because they have no beds to take care of anybody.
I saw a stat thrown up either on Fox. I'm watching Fox Business News and CNBC to watch this stuff. And someone threw up a stat that said the entire country, our country, only has like 137,000 respirators.
Yeah, we don't have near enough respirators.
137,000. That's 2 or 3 big towns or cities in any given state. One state. Population wise.
Well, I mean, think about it in this way.
No.
Yes.
No.
I want you to.
I want to be.
327.2 million people in the U.S. And we have how many respirators?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I wanted to put that number out there because a lot of people don't realize just how many people are here in the U.S.
I get that. They know it's over 3 million, I would hope, right?
300 million.
300 million. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I like looking at it. Okay, if Colorado got it, the whole state, we don't have enough respirators just for the state.
No.
You don't even have enough for fucking Wyoming.
And Wyoming has no people.
Well, yeah, 600,000 from what I remember.
So Colorado, we have basically 5.7 million people.
I know, wandering American. I mean, this is how we deal with things, and I'll put me into this collective too. We always react to situations. How in God's name the powers that be, and we'll get in, I guess this is going to go inevitably into the for-profit medical business.
It always does.
Yeah. No, we don't need all these respirators. So why are we going to have them sitting around? We got to make money. Oh, really? Really? Well, you need them now, asshole. Now what are you going to do?
Yep.
137,000 respirators for the entire country. Are you stupid?
And me,
Don't
Gene,
even get that one.
unfortunately, the septic systems aren't making any difference. That really has no bearing on the spread of this disease.
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, what? That's a contained.
With everybody using paper towels and baby wipes here pretty soon, our sewer system is gonna go in the toilet.
Oh, you're a good crowd. You're the comedian today. All right. This is
I
the
couldn't resist that one. Hey, I was gonna say it in a different way, but then you would have buzzed me.
That's perfectly fine. I really don't think there's any limits here as far as we've come.
No, I know.
It doesn't matter to me. You're editing or censoring yourself, and that's perfectly fine. I don't really
No, I just thought it was funny.
No,
I was just trying to be polite.
Okay, so welcome to the Mel Comedy Hour. What other material you have?
Mel is beyond exhausted, so she got jokes.
Oh, so you're kind of drunk punch.
Yeah, kind of.
Whatever.
I really am exhausted. Sorry about last night and being the one to say, okay, I don't want to do this tonight. I did finally hear from Danny. She was supposed to come on the show last night. I decided to call the show before she got back a hold of me. And because I've been up till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, like since Friday. And getting up at 5:30 yesterday morning just kind of kicked my butt. But
I hear you.
she is going to call in on Wednesday.
Wednesday morning? Wednesday night?
Evening.
It doesn't matter to me. If it's not meant to be and it doesn't happen, I've learned a long time ago in more areas than one in my life not to force it. So don't worry about me. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. So it's fine with me.
Oh, dude, I was so tired last night. Oh, I really was. If you could have heard my voice last night. But yeah, Danny is feeling better.
Right.
So that's good. She's on the mend. Daniel's wife is a presumptive positive. She did finally get tested, and she is just a wreck.
Right.
Which she does have underlying conditions. And there's really not a whole lot of news on anybody else I know. But other than they're just fighting it and making through it.
All right, so I want to stop this. Lisa's bringing up good points. That's not the way to calculate it. Blah 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 blah. We're just trying to put real numbers in front of us right now.
That's the reason why I do it the way I do is because you have to go on cases that are now over, that have either been resolved in healing or death, and so I take that total number, the total number of cases that are done. And I make my percentages that way. So just wanted to let you know that's actually how I do the math. A lot of people are taking the total number of cases and getting their percentages that way, which of course drops the numbers drastically. Yeah. But it's actually not the proper way to formulate it. So
no, and I don't think there is. Lisa, don't apologize. I'm not calling you out or saying you're wrong. That's like right now at this given moment, I have $380 in my checking account. Ask me tomorrow what it is. You know, it's a real moment in time by calculation based on any way you want to figure it out. I want all different perspectives on this. You know, Mel's doing it one way, someone else is doing it another way, the CDC's doing it another way. Everybody's doing their own thing. The thing is that's what we should be doing, and figure it out for yourself. That's it. Don't listen to us. Don't even listen to yourself. Just look at these numbers and go, no matter how you paint this is fucked up.
So, Patriot Dev.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, no, there's various ways to look at this whole situation when it comes to math formulas,
Right.
but it all depends on what you're actually looking for. And I totally get what you're saying about a death today who was diagnosed 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that's why I go on the solved cases versus anything that's still active.
The number or exponent or what? God, it's been so long since I've taken math.
Right.
The exponent or whatever that should be looked at, and not obsessively, is exponential.
Yeah.
How this is going exponential. That's it. You can come up with hard numbers and this and that and formulas. This is going exponentially. That is the thing that I think should be centered on.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Because, right now we're sitting at under 5,000. Well, we had almost 1,000 new cases yesterday.
All right. Total across the country?
Total across the country.
All right.
Here in Colorado, the number's still sitting at 160, but I know for a fact people got tested positive yesterday, and over the weekend. So those numbers they're going to go back up again, like quick. And our ratio's horrible as far as positive tests.
Well, that's another thing too. I mean, I've heard allegedly that people are going in and getting tested, and then it's up to the doctor whether to verify them or not. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that. I couldn't believe it. They're sitting in refrigerators with cultures in them, just waiting to be tested.
There is that issue. They do have a backlog right now, as well as the CDC. I think I don't quote me on who said what.
Right.
Because there's just been I'm an information overload at this point. So, but what they were saying is that when the states are testing now, they are no longer, once the states get a positive test, they are no longer having to be sent to the CDC for re-verification.
Which is good or bad? That would be good, right?
Good in the fact that we're getting our numbers quicker.
Real numbers, right? Well, not real
but
numbers. But
bad in the fact that it's not being double checked.
Yeah, but how many times you want to double check something?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
really?
pretty obvious at this point if somebody's got it,
But it could come out negative and it is positive, or it could
Right.
be positive and it's not. Well, if it's positive, it can't be negative. So
Wow.
we could get some false negatives doing
Yeah.
it that way. Whatever. You know what? This is so crazy. This is too much even for me to handle, because I want to kind of transfer into the economy here and how it's going to affect people's lives. This too shall pass. Okay, some people
yeah,
are
it
going to
will.
die,
It will.
unfortunately. Some people are going to get sick. Some people may have damaged lungs from this. I'm not going to downplay that, but we will move on from this. But the point is that this thing has been a financial cluster bomb, a nuclear war, a weapon of mass destruction has been detonated to the economy. Period. Okay, and again, it's not because of the coronavirus. It's because there was a keg of dynamite sitting there, and some asshole threw a match on it.
Right.
And the match is the coronavirus. And when I saw that yesterday, doing my homework, quote unquote, because that's what I do for fun, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, because like somebody said in this chat room, that if our economy was that strong, this never should have happened.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
So-
we had had proper health care, everybody talks about how our healthcare system's so wonderful. No, it didn't. And if we'd had better healthcare and a better economy, yeah, this wouldn't have affected us as bad. It still would have affected us, but not the way that it did.
Okay. So what do we do? I know Ron Tyler has his program, and always preaches and harps about having a bug out plan or an emergency plan. Blah 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 blah. That's all great, and I'm not downplaying that at all. But what's our plan? What's your plan for when you don't have an income anymore, or you don't have a job anymore, and you're just sitting there? What part of your bug out plan or emergency plan has no income in it?
Nobody's
saying?
does. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
ultimately, nobody's does.
Okay. Okay. So how do we do that? Because sitting here just thinking this is going to blow over, you have to look at history. 2008, they're saying they're not even comparing us to 2008 anymore. They're comparing it to 1929, the Great Depression.
Well, yeah, because we had the biggest drop yesterday in history.
So what does one do? And I'm not saying I know. I'm trying to get in the mindset, and I've been in this mindset since 2008. What does one do when you lose everything? You're on the cusp of losing everything, because you have to look at 2008. Some people still haven't recovered. Some people lost their businesses, their family, whatever, and I'm part of that statistic. But this is way worse. 2008 only affected certain people. I mean, it affected the banking sector, and they said we didn't bail out the banks and blah, 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 blah. We all were going to pretty much die. Whatever. Okay. So they recapitalized them and this and that. But every industry that is going through the casinos, the cruise, the airlines, every industry is going to ask and is asking for a bailout.
Oh, yeah.
So what do? We can't bail everybody out.
No, and quite honestly, that bailout needs to go to the people this time, not the freaking courts.
You know, it's funny you say that, because I said this on a show, and I don't know if I said it on this network, but they totally handled this whole thing wrong. I mean, banks are not owned by the government. They're private industries. They're private companies. And what the government should have done is said, okay, we're going to print $1 gazillion, and we're going to send every American citizen X amount of dollars, and then we're going to let them decide what bank they put it in, where they spend it, blah, 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 and let quote unquote true capitalism take its course.
Yeah.
And whatever the customers or the people decide in the will of the people, that's who will survive. So Ford was going under allegedly, GM was going under allegedly. No, don't let the government recapitalize them because of all the huge bad mistakes they made. Let the people decide what vehicle they're going to buy, and let them decide who's going to survive. What's wrong with that?
I agree with it.
So
because then it puts it on the people as to how they're going to survive.
Well, it puts it on the people, and it puts the money at the bottom and decides who's going to survive at the top instead of the other way around. The people at the top shouldn't decide who's going to survive at the bottom.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and that's right now that's the situation we're in.
Yeah, I don't know if a new current. The currency isn't the problem; it's the assholes managing it.
Right.
So it don't. The only thing, and I'm not saying this is the way it's going to be, but people don't. I really beg of you guys to learn how money works and currency works. And goldsilver.com with Mike Maloney explains how money from the beginning of time and bartering works. But the only way that we're going to have any accountability and no shenanigans is by the blockchain, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the cryptocurrencies, because it's decentralized and it doesn't go through a bank, and it's impossible to cook the books. We need a new system. We don't need a new currency. And we also need a new currency backed by something that's backed by nothing, because right now it's backed by nothing.
Right.
The only thing our currency is backed by, this is what's scary, not talking about this, our currency is only backed by our trust that it's good and our labor. But our labor has been just totally devastated because we're all being put out of work. So there's going to be nothing behind our money.
Yeah, and I mean, nobody's going to have any money to spend because nobody's getting paid. You know, even my industry is getting hit. I've gotten one payment this month. You know, and because everybody's hoarding their money because we don't have any work. So,
Well-
it's literally every industry is going to get hit. This whole suspension of rent and mortgage. Is it everybody is just not going to have to pay their rent and mortgage? They're going to add it to the end or whatever. Or are we going to owe it as soon as we come out of this? Because if we owe it when we come out of this, then why bother doing it in the first place? Because nobody's going to be making any money to pay those bills. And, I see everybody, they expanded unemployment. Well, great. But how many of us don't qualify for unemployment because of our work situation?
Yeah, me. I don't.
I don't.
No.
I'm self-employed. I don't qualify.
And it's just kind of amazing that, put it this way, if it wasn't an election year, I don't think everybody would be concerned about the people. Let's just say that this was the year after the presidential election and all these other elections. I could
they
think
wouldn't care.
They could give a flying fuck. You'd be on your own. So that's just my opinion. But it's not. So they're acting like they care and they want to take care of the people for nothing more than votes. And I'm sorry, that's what I think. So
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think if it was not an election year, we'd be in even more trouble than we already are.
Well, but what do we do? And I think Lisa made a good point. She said, my grandpa said during the Great Depression, the people who could find work did okay. Yeah, and his point was to make sure you had skills. I'm not saying every single person's going to be sitting at home. But if you have a real unskilled job, you are going to be sitting at home. And if you're not at the top of your game, you are going to be sitting at home. So me, myself, I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to sound like a narcissist again. I'm pretty good at what I do. I mean, you don't start a business from nothing in the last 20 years.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I would say the same thing about myself,
Yeah, well, yeah. So you and I, but we got to think about other people, and more importantly, they got to think about themselves. It is imperative that you learn some type of skill that somebody is going to need. Like I think you're poised to be perfect, Mel.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people are going to move to home businesses. The only thing I'm worried about is like during this shutdown, because this could actually be a really good opportunity for me.
It's going
as far as the shutdown.
Yes.
The one thing that could be a hamper is if they shut down the mail service.
Yeah, well, I
because of e-commerce.
Yeah, I don't know.
Love you, bud. Have a good day.
But I already saw that. I think it's Universal Pictures, and don't quote me on it. They're going to go right from putting the movie in the can, so to speak, to the internet. They're not even going to go to the theaters for now. It's all going to be instantly streamed to the internet. And I'm like, well, why didn't you dumbasses do that in the first place? Why? I don't know, unless they're trying to keep the movie theaters open, and that's just the way we've done it. You don't want to break an American tradition. I get all of that. But why couldn't it, the people that haven't had a hybrid, and I'm just going to use my own terms, of, well, you know what, we'll release it in the theaters, but for people that can't get out for whatever reason whatsoever, they're old, they don't want to go out, they're an introvert, they're afraid of going outside, whatever that phobia is. Blah,
agoraphobia.
Blah. Yeah, they
That's
just
me.
can't. They're incapacitated, they're disabled for whatever reason, they can't get to the movie theater.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you release it in the theater and on the internet?
And see that, dude, I've been saying this for years because I am agoraphobic and theaters freak me out. And we have the technology for a theater to have their theater website, and for those people who don't want to go to the theater, which, I mean, here in Colorado, obviously that's a big deal. Many people have not gone to a theater since the shooting. Why can they not have a lower fee for watching it on their website? They have pay-per-view. I can do pay-per-view on our site. So if I can do it, why can't a big theater corporation do it?
Because they decide not to. I don't know. I mean, yeah, let the theaters stream it. You know, don't
Yeah.
bypass the theaters. I'm not saying
That's what I'm.
take
Yeah,
that.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
Is
no, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
they could charge an admission fee still, you know, less than having to go in, I'm sure. But, you know, I mean, we can rent things, we can rent movies off of Amazon, off of all these different streaming places. We can rent movies. So why can't they do the same thing and release a digital version for those of us who can't get out of our houses?
Because they decided not to. See, and they're going to be
Because they're
forced-
assholes.
Yeah, and well, because they want the control and the money of how their income stream is being generated. So that's going to go bye-bye, because the people that do not, and mark my words on this, the people that do not go to the internet or the World Wide Web or whatever you want to call this freaking thing are not going to make it. They are not going to have a choice.
No.
You are going to have to go to the internet, and the people that didn't have the infrastructure in place for this are going to pay dearly.
And I hope that through this mess that they will figure that piece out, because I kind of get tired of whenever I want to watch something new out, either having to wait for it, or, you know, I'm a geek. I have illegal sources to watch TV and movies, you know, I'll admit it. But I don't download them. I just watch them. But the ability is already out there because we have illegal streaming. So why aren't the theater industries taking advantage of that ability, and instead of getting pissed at all these companies that are streaming them, why don't they do it?
I don't know, and I think they would deal with a lot of copyright piracy things if they just automatically released it right away and streamed it. Because what would
That's
be the
my point.
Yeah, what would be the point of trying to get a copy of it, whatever copy that may be?
Yeah,
because you can see it right away. I don't really care. I don't get the.
Well, that's exactly my point. Is
Yeah.
they wouldn't kill it completely, because there's always going to be people that don't want to pay $5 or whatever.
Because there's assholes, no matter what. Yeah.
And quite honestly, if they would put things like that online, I'd happily pay the $5, $10, whatever it is.
Yeah, make it the price of a movie ticket or a little bit less, because there's freaking no overhead at all.
None.
Zero.
None.
Right. So, I don't get it. I don't understand the thinking of these people sometimes, because it's just like the music industry, and I don't want to get into this, but they dictate on how you're going to listen to your music, and that's wrong. Just like the movie industry, they're going to dictate how you watch their movie. Really? Do you know what market that you're keeping out of your sales because you're being stupid?
Oh yeah, I guarantee you, they are losing big bucks. If they would just get smart, and like I said, hopefully this situation will push them that direction so that they don't completely lose all their money. Because that's the only way they're going to survive. Nobody's going to be going to the theaters for the next few months.
I have a distribution suggestion for you and your partner in crime. Forget doing this shit live and all these platforms. We're just going to do this, and all of this is going to go right to you guys, right to you, Melissa. So get ready for more shit to do.
Oh,
and
great.
after everybody does their show every single day, no one's going to watch it in real time, and you're going to burn DVDs and send them to everybody and charge them for them.
Oh, dude, I would be so happy to do something like that.
Are you serious?
I would. I mean,
But look at the inefficiency in it. What my point is, look at what you're doing. You're controlling and bottlenecking everything, and you're keeping it proprietary, and then you're going to put it on a media that can be copied, and then you're going to sit there and bitch that people are copying it and selling it, or not paying for it, I guess I should say, and not paying Freedom Revolution Network for the program. So you're causing your own fucking problem.
Well, yeah, I was not like putting it to actually doing it, I guess.
No, I know. I'm
Because
just
it's just
trying.
not something we would ever do. But
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
That's what the music industry was doing and still does
Yeah.
to the point. And that's what the movie entertainment industry does.
yeah, you're dead right.
And how that's so stupid.
Now I
mean,
can understand like maybe like a pay-per-view or something like that for like a special event.
yeah, for streaming though, not taking
Yeah.
it and having a special event and nobody can see it, and then it's all gonna be burned into DVDs, and then or put it on Freedom Revolution Network and you can stream
Yeah.
it, but you got to pay for it. I mean, it's
Well, that, and I mean, plain and simple, anything that gets put out, as the moment the moment that I got it put out on online for sale, there are so many different ways to snag it.
right.
It's almost impossible to lock down a file to where nobody could steal it.
Except
And that would require also not putting them out on DVDs.
But you know how you could do that if blockchain technology gets intervene with that, or interwoven or whatever, then there's nothing people can do.
Right.
So there's an answer to it. It's with the encryption and everything else, which you know a lot about. But
Oh yeah.
it can
Well, that's
be
why I
done.
said just about.
Right. No, it can be done through blockchain. I mean, once that's all done, it can't go backwards or forward or broken
Right.
into, or it cannot be broken.
It's
into.
done.
Yeah. Once it's done, it's sealed forever and ever, and you cannot get back to it. So the blockchain might even come up to that now that I'm even thinking about it. That might even be used for, because information is information. It doesn't know what's
Yeah.
in the chain, the blockchain.
It all it sees is ones and zeros.
Right. So why can't you put an algorithm in there just to deal with MP3, MP4 files, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's all kinds of ways to protect the files, but at the same time, there's always going to be a hole. Always.
Yeah, but not with blockchain though.
Yeah.
Because if it would be, it would have been found already. So I know it's kind of interesting.
It is actually. That sent me into a total geek mode there. Sorry.
No, it could be. You should
'Cause
really
it-
look into blockchain, because it's once it's done by a network of, if there was a network of computers out there that were streaming whatever, and once it went through the blockchain and it was sealed and done, you can't go back and you can't penetrate it, because you need the processing power of one computer times how many are on the network, which is all peer-to-peer. So
Right.
you can't overcome that computing power. You just can't. So
No, you really can't. The only thing I see about blockchain and like digital media is you can download from the blockchain. I'm sure there's a way to block the downloadability. I'm just going off of what is out there right now that I know about, which like I believe I think it's DLive that works on blockchain. And I can still download off of it. Like I can download our videos off of it. And I know that at a certain point they just kind of disappear out of our account. So it's a rotator. But I don't, again, I don't know exactly how blockchain actually works, and I just know what I've seen so far.
Well, as far as I know, anything that's blockchain, you can look at it, but you can't go into it and get anything out of it or change it or edit it.
Yeah,
or
you can't
delete it out of it.
change it, but
Yeah.
you can, like on DLive, like I said, I can still download for like, I think it's like 11 days. I have the ability to download things, but if it's anything older than that, you can't download it.
No, that sounds like algorithms and programming to me. Whatever
Right.
you put to do, that's what it's going to do.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was saying is I'm sure that there's a way to code in there
Right.
to block downloads.
Exactly. Or put a time limit on them, like you said. That's perfect
Yeah.
too. So,
Now I'm gonna have to go. See, you're sending me down another damn rabbit hole.
It's not a rabbit hole. It's a good thing, I think.
It is, but it's for me. It's a rabbit hole because I will go in there and I will disappear for days.
Well, good, because maybe you'll come up with something that nobody else has. And I mean, that's the whole idea of this thing. The people that use their innovation and their resources and what they're able to do and their skills are the ones that are going to make it.
Well, I mean, those rabbit holes are how I was able to learn to build a network like we have.
Yeah,
was me going down those rabbit holes.
Right, and look at Napster. I mean, and all that shit, you know. So that's kind of what started this whole thing, anyway, as far as I'm concerned. But the copyright thing got in the way. But I'm gonna go fill my coffee cup up and come back. So I don't know if you want to squawk a little bit. I'll be right back. I'm gonna fill my coffee.
I'm gonna squawk.
Talk about blockchain and rabbit holes. I'll be right back.
Yes, Mean Gene, I agree. Napster was freaking awesome. I was very upset when Metallica sued them. Do you remember LimeWire? I used to use that one too. Excuse me. Let's see here. I'm looking through our comments here. Yes. LimeWire was awesome. I love the little lime. I still use BitTorrent. BitTorrent is still out there. Oh, I used to have, you know, those giant books of CDs, the ones that had like four in a page, and they were double-sided.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I used to have books of those filled with data files, not the actual like movie files, but data files. So they actually had to be played on a computer. But I had a massive collection of kids' movies that I did for the kids when they were little. And they both had their own computers in their rooms, and they could take one of those CDs, pop it in, run that data file, and they could watch their movies. And I could fit like 2 or 3 movies on a regular CD, not a DVD, but a CD.
Right. Huh. Yeah, CDs, what, 700 megabytes without compression? Or?
Yeah, they're little. They're little. That was why I somehow I don't have a clue how I figured it out, but I figured out that I was able to, if I did them as the data files instead of the actual, back then, you know, SVID files or whatever they were, that I was able to actually get not only one movie on a disc, but multiple movies on a CD.
Well, we got maybe another 15 minutes. I'm going to call this, but I want to motivate and inspire people. Okay, because again, we're all trained, go to school, get a job, and bust your butt, and you'll live happily ever after. That's not true.
Yeah.
And now with this situation in our economy, and our economy was barely hanging in there to begin with and unstable. Now the coronavirus just made it, showed all the vulnerability and weaknesses in our economy. So that's not your fault. That's not my fault. Like I said, we're just living our lives and doing what we're told. But now, I mean, I don't think people understand the whole spectrum of every sector and industry is going to be affected by this.
Yeah. Something I would like to point out is, okay, so we don't know if our mail system is going to be working in the next couple of months.
It never has worked.
Well, even as much as it is now.
Yeah, I get it. We're glad.
Yeah, you got jokes now. Information in the online industry and online businesses and things like that. Back in the early 2000s, information was king. That was how you made money online. And guess what? It still is. People need to think about what their passions are, what gets them excited. Because those are things that they have a whole lot of knowledge about that other people don't have. And think about a way to put that information that's all up in your head onto paper and figure out a way to put that information that's in your head about your passion into something that can be downloaded, whether it's videos, documents, audios, doesn't matter. If it can be downloaded, it can be sold. You can educate, you can become a resource for other people. That is what is going to survive as far as business right now. And because we're heading into at least a small section of time where we may not have the ability to get deliveries. So e-commerce is still kind of but things like gardening, survival stuff, anything that you have a passion and an interest in, that you are knowledgeable about, people don't realize how much incredible knowledge that they have in their own brains that other people want. So think in that direction and figure out a way to get that stuff in a digital type form that other people can get without having to use mail. That right there, you're going to have a business for the rest of your life. You still there too?
I'm listening to you, and you're
Okay.
inspiring me to download a YouTube recording program. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, it just got really quiet. I thought I was kind of sitting there by myself for a moment.
No,
Sorry,
I don't.
I got onto a subject that I personally am very passionate about.
No,
Because
I
I
think-
like helping people
Yeah.
figure out a way to make that side money.
No, I'm actually listening to what you're saying and processing it and doing something. I don't believe having a conversation with people means interrupting and talking
yeah.
with them
Oh,
and
I know.
interjecting. I'm actually listening to what you're saying.
I know. I just didn't know if I was being boring or not. I guess, but
No, you were having a moment, and I was listening.
yes, I was.
Yeah.
And honestly, anybody out there listening right now, if you want to start an online business during this mess, and you need help finding direction, or maybe you have some kind of an idea, but you're just not sure how to implement it or what you can do with that idea to make it viable right now, get a hold of me. Everybody can reach me through the contact form on Freedom Revolution Network. Contact me and I will talk you through it. I've been training people how to start up businesses for over 20 years.
I'm going to throw this in there to interrupt you. Do
Okay.
not, under no circumstances, put your monetization into someone else's hands without
No.
mentioning any names. And what that means is this: don't throw it on Acme Roadrunner video tube service.
No.
And for all the downloads or however they monetize it, and they decide how much they're going to pay you or not going to pay you in the future, do not put your livelihood into the hands of others.
No.
Do not.
And that also includes sites like Wix and Squarespace. Okay, those sites charge monthly and they lower your abilities that you have in order to expand your business, to build and expand it. They have so many blocks on your search engine optimization and all kinds of other technical things I won't get into right now. But having your own hosting and a WordPress website is going to be your best bet. And it sounds overwhelming when they first get into it, but with proper training, which I give, it's not. I've been able to train our hosts on how to do their own show pages. It's not that difficult, but all you need is that training in order to do it. And so, like I said, this is the time, this is the perfect time for people to start thinking about these kinds of things and thinking about a new direction. Information is king. There is always somebody out there who wants the information that's in your head.
It's kind of pushing it with me, but yeah, I get it.
Oh, dude, we have listeners. People want your information too.
I know, and I'm being sarcastic
I know.
once again.
I know.
Yeah, that's very interesting. The only way, what the challenge is, I think, for people, so that's a big learning curve, is getting paid for your information. That whatever that transition would be. I think that's the challenge. Without putting people in the middle, like I said, to monetize you, and then they can change the rules of the game because you don't meet the community standards or whatever horse shit it is. So then you don't get paid. So I've seen people destroyed by that, and I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, and that's a big problem, like with the MLM programs and all that crap. I absolutely cannot stand MLM, multi-level marketing, for those who don't know what MLM is. That's those programs where you sign up for them because they have these great products, and then all they focus on is building your downline instead of actually selling the product that you like. And they keep you so tied up with that downline crap that you're not focusing on the product. Now, that being said, over the years, I've come up with ways to work MLM programs where you're actually focusing on the product, not the downline. But it all depends on that program's rules and what you're allowed to do. So, and there's all kinds of ways to make what they call residual income, which is income you don't work for. Like we are an affiliate of My Patriot Supply. That's how we help raise money for the network. We earn 10% off of all sales that go through them. Now, the only thing that we do is talk about them, and we have a link to them on our website. So you can also add all kinds of ancillary programs where you're making residual income that you don't even have to work for, because all people do is click through and then you get credited for it. There used to be entire sites built off of affiliate programming.
Well, that's when your business or whatever becomes on autopilot, and then the money, then you create a cash printing machine, a legal one,
right?
And you're absolutely doing quote unquote nothing, and the money's just flying in. So I mean,
that's why all the big guys, all the big marketing gurus, my mentors, why they always talk about residual income, because once you get your site built, then you start looking for things that are complementary to it, and things that would correlate with the things that people are coming to you for.
All right. Well, that's I think I'm gonna close this down here, but
how was that for eating your last 15 minutes?
No, that's what I wanted. But I want, instead of you or me I'm not saying don't do this. Don't.
Yeah.
Wow, it's gonna come out. Instead of you or me, don't listen to what I'm saying. But instead of you or me telling people what to do, they need to figure out what to do. They need to figure it out. I can sit here and tell them what to do. You can sit there and tell them what to do. That's not going to do them a goddamn thing. They need something that sets a light bulb off in your head, like I said to you about the blockchain thing, and like, oh, you're just taking me down the rabbit hole. Well, I think that's a good thing, because I'm inspiring.
No, I did too.
I know you did, but I'm saying I'm inspiring you to think.
Mm-hmm.
We need to inspire people to think, not to tell them what to do.
Right.
Now we could say this is what I would do, or this is what people have done to share that, to inspire them. But you dumb motherfuckers have the ability, that makes a lot of sense, that you can do whatever you set your mind to. You just gotta find it.
Yeah. And like I said, if you want some help finding that special niche for you, get a hold of me through the contact form. All those emails come straight to me. So
Yeah, there
I'll
you
get
go.
'em.
Yeah,
And I have no problem helping people find their direction.
you have all the tools in the world. But when I started my business, I didn't go ask people, well, what should I do? How should I do this? I just did it. You had to do it. It's like raising your kids. There's no book in raising your kids. You just do it. You make mistakes. You muddle through it. You go away. And then you get the experience out of it, and nobody can take that away from you.
Exactly.
And that's exactly the same way with being an entrepreneur or creating your own destiny or blazing your own path. And this is the opportune time to do this. Don't sit there and think you're a prisoner of your company or your boss or a paycheck or anything else. Because I'm telling you, you are smarter than some of these people, if not all of them. They are not utilizing the internet. And I'm telling you right now, the people that do not do that are not going to survive. Period.
No, and this whole situation is the perfect time to do it.
Yes.
You're not going to have to be out there working your 9 to 5. You know, you're not going to have to be out there working your job. Do something productive with this time. Start your own freaking business. If nothing else, even if you want to do an e-commerce business and our mail gets shut down, guess what? We can work on perfecting your website so that way when we're released again, you're already 100 steps ahead of everybody else.
Well, you really need to do that video crap where people can do this and throw all their information and get it out of their head onto paper in the real world and then get it on the internet, because people that we're broadcasting on right now that I'm not going to name, you can if you want, they're going to try to get a piece of that pie and then they're going to control you. So you're essentially just working for them.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right. Yeah, we have all got to find our own income streams these days.
Right. And
this situation is proof positive of it.
Right. I mean, like what you guys are doing, you're not gonna know where this is gonna go. How could you?
Oh, we have no idea.
But you said a job 9 to 5. I can promise you this: when you do what you want to do, and the passion is there, you're gonna work from 6 a.m. until midnight, and it's gonna be like, whoa.
Yep. That's exactly what I do. I get up at 5:30. I get on this show. Then when we're done, I'm at work. And I don't go to bed until 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And my desk is in my living room. So I have my TV for company.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here when my son gets home so we can sit here and chit chat and interact while I'm still working. But, and it can take over your life. But if you're enjoying what you're doing, it's no longer work.
No, it's not a job, right? Exactly.
I love what I do. I love getting on here and making new things for the network and helping people's businesses improve and show up in searches. And it's an incredible feeling whenever you wake up every morning doing what you want to do, working with your passions. And like I said, this is the perfect opportunity for everybody to hone in on that.
Like you would not believe. I think it's a reset button. A reset button's coming in every way that you can possibly imagine, but the reset button has been reset for e-commerce and the internet and free marketing. It's like the year 2000 again, in my opinion. I mean,
it really
wide open.
That's how I'm looking at it, honestly. In one way, I feel guilty because I feel like I'm taking advantage of a situation where people are hurting.
No.
But at the same time, what I'm trying to do is give people an alternative way out and get control over their own lives.
It'd be like feeling guilty and you set up a soup kitchen for feeding people that are hungry. That's ridiculous. Don't let your feeling. You're not
Well,
capitalizing on somebody's. Grief.
Yeah.
You're trying to help them and
I
lift
know.
them up. So
I
you
know.
got to get past that. So.
Yeah, I know.
All right, but anyway, there you go. You can do whatever you want to do, but don't sit there and think you're a prisoner or a paycheck is in some person's other hands forever. Quit making other assholes money. Make your own asshole money. I don't think it's else. But make your own money, create your own destiny, and you can do it. And it will be the sky's the limit. But don't sit there and think, poor me. What am I going to do? And I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to have to move in with my kids or my parents or whatever, or vice versa or whatever. You can do whatever you want to do, and this is the most opportune time to do it. So figure it out.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Okay, so. Oh, good morning, Candace. Candace just popped into the Facebook. Okay, so before we get off of here, I want to remind everybody that we have started the coronavirus dollar bomb. And it is to, number one, help us pay our bills so that we can stay alive during this mess. As well as we are going to be, once we get locked down, because we all know what's coming, we will be expanding and having hosts on as much as possible all day long.
People's more names. Okay, good.
And in addition to helping us as a network, we also want to start building up a kitty of money to be able to order things online for people and have it delivered directly to their door for those people who are in need. So we have a dual purpose for this dollar bomb. Most of it will actually be going to help others.
There you go. And that's what it's all about, ain't it?
Yeah.
I don't want people thinking here that Mel's trying to sell shit or I'm trying to sell shit or set you up or steer you or misguide you. We're not. We're trying to get you to use your mind and break free from this crap and do it. And you have all the support, at least here on this show, let alone this network, although I can't speak for that, but definitely on this show. It's called the fucking Red Pill Show, guys, for a reason. Think out of the box. Think different. Don't let people steer you and manipulate you and suppress you based on being indoctrinated and telling you what to do and paying the consequences for some other people making some piss poor decisions.
Because we've all worked for companies like that.
Your destiny lies in your hands, and they got you by the balls because, well, if you don't kiss my ass or say good things about me so I get advanced and I'm your boss, then you're just going to get fired or you're never going to get anywhere. Well, fuck you. I never liked that attitude anyway. That's politics and manipulation and highly dysfunctional. And it's suppressing you from finding the real things that you can do with your talents. And that's what the internet can do. It always could do that. And it always will do that. You just got to use it as a tool and figure it out how you're going to use it for yourself. And that's it. Right, Mel?
Most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely.
So figure it out. But nobody's going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Mel's not going to tell you. Mel could help you till the cows come home. And if you don't figure it out on your own, it ain't going to make a bit of difference.
Well, that and the passion has to come from within you. I work with people based on what their passions are, because if you are not passionate about what you are doing, eventually it's going to become work. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We want to be able to wake up and love what we do every day. We want to look forward to opening our eyes and getting busy on what we do.
You got a truck rolling through there?
I live behind, my house is like right behind a King Soopers.
Yeah.
Which will be nice if we ever have to break into some place for food.
Oh, nice.
I also have an Ace Hardware.
Well, you can get the tools from there to break into King Soopers.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
But I will. That was something else I wanted to bring up, and I'm glad it came up real quick. Stores are still getting deliveries very regularly. Every night, those trucks are rolling through here. And this morning, whenever I got up, there were actually 4 different semis right behind my fence.
Wow.
So the stores are still stocking up. Obviously, first thing in the morning is going to be your best time to get anything. But yeah, just verification that yes, the stores are still stocking. So
Good. All right, so everybody say goodbye. I hope people are hearing what we're saying and not hearing what you want to hear. Not trying to put you down or make you feel negative. I'm tired of the negativity. I'm tired of it. It's time to take something from a negative and turn it into a positive, and the time is now. And it's going to take a long time. It might take you 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, but the time to start thinking that way is now, because I don't think we're going to get another opportunity at the ground level to do something like this.
no, through this we are going to have the opportunity to reshape our lives. This is something that is putting us all on common ground right now.
Yep.
And we need to take advantage of it.
Right. And don't base it on a supply chain that is halfway around the world. This, like Mel said, it's information. So information is created and generated by you. So you don't have to worry about the Chinese pulling some stupid shit and then go, well, we can't make this anymore. We're going to keep it for ourselves. No, that information is proprietary to you and it's in your head. So the product is always in your head. It's up to you to create it and get it out.
Yeah, get the information out there. Offer training, offer coaching in whatever it is you're doing. Do videos, do audio shows, seminars, webinars. There's so many things you can do just with information.
And I can promise you just one idea. It's like this show. I swear to God to you, there's no script here. Mel doesn't have a script. I don't have a script. We to be honest with you, we chat and cue before the show for a couple minutes, but it's just bullshit. It's not about anything except she brought up this morning, I want to talk about the numbers. I'm like, okay, fine. But that's it. But there's no script. There's no agenda here. There's no nothing. And we just start talking about one thing and it all follows. And the next thing you know, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours blows by. When you come up with one idea in your head to do this, they're all going to start popping in your head and fall like dominoes. That I can promise you.
Yeah.
You just got to make that first initial thought process to get you started. And that's it. And you'll have an unlimited supply of ideas. So just trust me on that one.
Yeah, and like I've said a couple times now, if you have some ideas or you want to find direction, get a hold of me and we'll talk about it. I'm not going to charge you to talk to me about, direction or coming up with something.
I am. It's $1 a minute. All right. No, there you go. So I like inspiring people. When I had my business, I wanted them to spend time with their family, make as much money as they could, blah, 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 make their own schedule, this and that, and everything, which was good for them in the industry. And that's what I did, and I have no regrets in doing it. And my results were phenomenal because I let people let their power within come out, and it was just amazing. They were self-managing until it got weird. But I'm not going to get into that part. But that's what you need to do. You just need to let it loose, do what you got to do, throw some mud on the wall, see what sticks, see what doesn't. And that's how you learn, by making mistakes and what not to do. But you'll figure it out. But you got to do it. Yeah. I can't stress that. You just got to do it. So. All right.
Oh, wow.
What?
I just got a message from the Southern Colorado Cannabis Council.
Far out. What?
And I just got offered a board position for IT director.
See?
Sorry, that just literally just popped up.
No, that's some good. See, that's some positive stuff. I can imagine those meetings. All right, man. This is Melissa, man. She's our IT person, dude. Far out, man. No, that'd be cool. Good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Yay.
I've been volunteering for them. Wow. It's
See
been a
what I'm
while.
saying? You just proved on air through the internet, that you just got an opportunity. There you
Yeah.
go. I mean, what the fuck? How more perfect?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, and I've been volunteering for them for years now. And wow, that's
I know,
cool.
but the job just came to you for not doing jack shit. I mean, not that you didn't, don't get me wrong, but see, you're attracting this stuff now because people see they apparently are listening to the show, which is a joke, but they're apparently looking at like, listen, we really got to utilize the internet. You've been doing it, so now you have a purpose and a required necessity, providing a service to them, and you just got yourself a freaking job. So,
Well, I mean, it's a volunteer job still.
well,
but,
but it doesn't matter.
but it's still,
That's-
it's something I'm very, obviously, Southern Colorado
doesn't-
Cannabis Council, it's something I'm passionate about.
Okay,
So,
well, whether you do it for free or not, it's up to you. But the point is that is going in the direction already. That's my point.
well, yeah. Yeah, and it's another thing that I can add to my resume. I mean, if nothing else.
Yeah, but down the road, that's where this is going. So don't give your shit for free. So because that's where this is going. You're providing a service, and they can't do it without you. So don't be too nice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, but the Southern Colorado Cannabis Council is a special thing for me. So
Well, good. Well, whatever. That's fine. If it's your passion and you want to give your time away, that's your business. But what I'm saying is that that's where this is going.
If it was anybody else, yes.
That's your prerogative. But what I'm saying is that don't give too much things away because you're. This is where the momentum's going that way, and you just proved it. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that was cool.
That's really awesome. That's kind of like a great way to close the show. So.
Right.
All right, guys.
We're definitely closing it on a positive note. That was cool.
Yeah, well, and that's what I want to do. I didn't come on here to talk about negative shit, but like I said, the world has thrown us this, and we got to deal with it. And we got to figure out how to make a negative into a positive, and that's what I want to do. That's what I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, most definitely.
But all right, well, say goodnight to everybody here. Say goodbye. I gotta go. I have to go to work. I went a half hour too long as it is, and I'm pissed at myself. But
oops.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
It's a good cause, and it's not like we're busier than shit. Actually, I think this is gonna be happening more and more here.
Right.
It's just really bad right now, and we got to muddle through it though.
Yep, and we'll make it through it.
Yep. So, all right, say goodbye. I don't know. Did everybody leave or they pissed off?
No, they're still in there.
Hey, whatever. If I got to piss you off to motivate you, I'll do it. I don't care. You can hate me all day long, but someone's got to get through your thick head that you got to do something.
Right.
Being nice to you and pampering you and saying, "Oh, everything's okay. Don't worry about it," isn't going to work. You got to get tough and you got to do something and do it. And kind of like a coach mentality. So you got to do it, but it's up to you. I can only push you so far. Mel can only push you so far. The existing situation with the coronavirus and the economy is only going to push you so far. You're the one that has to take action. So.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I gotta go, and we will be back tomorrow, right, at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And maybe we can elaborate further on this, but I would like to. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We got a message sent to you, Mel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yay.
Yeah, figure it out and share your stories and share your stuff because you're going to be blazing a trail for other people to go down and set an example. So just keep doing it, man. Just keep doing it. And it's great, Wandering American. If anybody can do it, she can.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt. So, but all right, so I gotta go to work or at least run one call, if that. So we can come back and try to get a vibe and see what's going on at the shop. But thanks for listening to us. But just remember, your destiny lies in your hands. As corny as that sounds, it's true. This is a great opportunity to use the internet. Figure it out, do it, watch YouTube videos, like Melissa said, which was great advice. Take the shit that's in your head, no matter how crazy it is, write it down. And then try to get that into an uploadable digital format where you can download it.
Yeah.
So you can share it. And then you'll make all kinds of money. And even if you don't sell that information, you might get sponsored, and then the sponsors will pay you. So
Right. There's
all different kinds of ways to do it.
with the internet, it can literally go in any direction. You're talking about a sphere with spikes coming out of it in every freaking direction.
Yep. That's right.
Makes me think of what was that movie, Hellraiser, or the Pinhead dude?
That's Hellraiser, yeah. Yep.
Okay, so
Right.
it's time for goodnight, Gracie, isn't it?
Yep. So say goodnight, Gracie. I gotta go. So
Good night,
I'm
Gracie.
gonna get fired. That's gonna happen anyway, so it really don't matter what I do. But all right, guys, thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow morning. And please share the show and think for yourself. Damn it. So, all right, I gotta go. You've been listening to the original Red Pill Show. Have a great day. Bye.